dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. 9 people are injured after the press box partially collapsed during a softball tournament at Wayne High School earlier today. 2 of those students were transported by helicopter for treatment of their injuries. Matt Lackritz has more from Wayne County.
A middle school softball game abruptly coming to a halt as the floor to the press box collapsed, injuring 9 people, 6 of them students and 3 adults. Wayne County Superintendent Todd Alexander says this was in the middle of a tournament.
It shakes you. You know, you never want to have to deal with a situation where you have, when you have people from your community and especially your students injured.
Wayne County Volunteer Fire Chief Dennis Jackson says 2 students were taken to the hospital by helicopter and 3 adults by ambulance, adding by the time they arrived, everyone was out from the rubble.
Not real sure what happened. We do know the floor came down. The cause is still under investigation.
Alexander says they're bringing in an expert at the start of the week.
We will have an inspector here on Monday to look at everything to see exactly what caused this, but there's no doubt it was some sort of structural issue.
Despite 2 students taken to the hospital by helicopter, the Wayne Volunteer Fire Chief Dennis Jackson says none of the injuries are thought to be life-threatening. We'll be checking in with the school district on Monday to learn what the inspector discovers. Officials with the Pike County Coroner's Office are asking for your help in locating surviving family members of a person who passed away. Pike County Coroner Kevin Hall says 62-year-old Charles Swafford of Pikeville died. Swafford was living at the Carl D. Perkins Apartments. If you have any information, you're asked to call Kevin Hall, the coroner, at 606-213-6569. All U.S. Army aviators not involved in critical missions have been grounded following 2 recent helicopter crashes that have left 12 soldiers dead. Army officials say while those are grounded, pilots will focus on safety and training protocols. Safety stand-down comes after Thursday's mid-air collision of 2 helicopters near Fort Wainwright, Alaska. 3 soldiers died and 1 was wounded. Just weeks earlier, 2 helicopters crashed during a training mission here in Kentucky at Fort Campbell, killing all aboard. The incidents are under investigation, but the Army says there's no indication of any pattern between the 2. We've got a positive update regarding Louisville officer Nicholas Wilt. Louisville Metro Police Officer Nicholas Wilt's condition is improving, according to a post on social media. His family says the next 24 to 48 hours are critical in determining when he will be off the ventilator and other devices. Wilt is able to open his eyes and look around. He's still listed in critical condition, and the medical team is working on getting him stable enough to get off the equipment.
Well, we are tracking a few showers across the mountains as we go into this evening. Here's a live look right now at Pinpoint Doppler. As you can see, a few showers are possible out there. Nothing too heavy, but a few sprinkles cannot be ruled out if you have any dinner plans from Perry County through Hindman over in Knott County, also into portions of Floyd County as well, stretching into portions of southern Magoffin County. A few sprinkles are possible also just to the north of Paintsville over portions of Johnson County into Lawrence, also Wayne County, West Virginia. A few showers cannot be ruled out. Here's a live look right now at Buffalo Mountain. We are cloudy. That current temperature is 64 degrees, so we are mild out there this evening. Most of us in the middle to upper 60s, 66 in Jackson, 64 in Pikeville, 64 also here in Perry County. We do fall into the 50s as we go overnight. Temperatures falling into the upper 40s and lower 50s as you wake up on Sunday, and more showers are possible on your Sunday as well. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Keaton?
All right, thank you, Cameron. Folks from across the region gathered at the Mountain Arts Center this afternoon for the first ever SOAR EKY Gala. Shaping Our Appalachia Region, or SOAR, hosted the gala to celebrate and recognize folks across the mountains and their commitment to a better future for Eastern Kentucky. SOAR Executive Director Colby Hall adds that the work the award winners are doing sets an example for others.
We felt like it was a really good way for us to say, hey, you know, this is our plan, this is the work that we're doing, and tonight is a night to recognize the people that are setting the example for the entire region to follow.
The awards range from lifetime achievements to best city and many others. We'll have more from the gala tonight at 11. A London nonprofit hosted their first 5K to raise awareness about their mission and the needs of their community. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox details what Parkinsons in Motion's mission is and how the 5K brought the town together.
Nearly 1 million Americans are living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinsons Foundation says. The amount of people suffering from the disease led a London nonprofit to start an awareness campaign.
We need people to be aware at the alarming rate that Parkinson's is growing.
Calling themselves Parkinsons in Motion, the nonprofit put together a 5K to start movement physically and socially. The race brought in more than 100 people from across the state.
It's so representative of Kentucky. There are so many great people who are here, and I've been enjoying a little mini reunion over here.
The conditions were near perfection for their race too. The rising sun mixed with crisp air.
It started out this morning in the 50s, super comfortable to get out here. It's perfect.
Once everyone crossed the finish line, some got medals and others won prizes. One of the prizes was a signed basketball from what participants called London's first family, Jeff, Stacy, and Reed Shepard.
Come together and just support each other. It's really special, and I'm super glad I live here in London, and I love all these people.
Parkinsons in Motion staff will be hosting another 5K this time next year on April 27th. In London, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Parkinsons in Motion staff will also be hosting a meeting for people to learn more about the disease at the Laurel County Library on May 1st. Kentucky is ranked 8th in the country for diabetes prevalence. 14% of all Kentuckians have diabetes, and 34% are pre-diabetic. That's why the Fayette County Diabetes Coalition held a free diabetes expo today. Folks had a chance to receive free vaccines and screenings. They brought in health experts to answer questions about preventing or managing diabetes.
The demand is so high for the need of education, and we're seeing that it's not just subjected to a race, to a socioeconomic level. It's impacting young, old, middle, youth, teens.
Diabetes is the third leading cause of death by disease for African Americans in Kentucky. Uncontrolled diabetes can be associated with complications such as heart disease, stroke, blindness, kidney failure, and lower limb amputation. The Lexington VA is working to increase enrollment in VHA healthcare. This comes as many veterans are newly eligible following the passage of the PACT Act. It expands VA benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. Today they hosted a PACT event to educate veterans on healthcare enrollment and benefits. They also provided toxic exposure screenings.
During their time in the military, if they think that they've been exposed to any harmful toxics, we want them to come in and get screened for that. We want them to get the health care associated with that. We want to be able to treat them.
Armstead says the Lexington VA is planning several more of these events later on this year. A local business is celebrating Independent Bookstore Day. The Red Spot in Newton Hazard has been in business for 3 years, starting a few months before the COVID-19 pandemic. Owner Mandy Scheffel says while outside circumstances have made growing her bookstore harder, the reward of seeing local writers and readers together has outweighed it.
I think this and the store's anniversary are both opportunities for me to celebrate it and to give back to customers, because I feel like my customer base is the whole reason why I'm able to stay here and stay open. And so any opportunity that I have to give back to them, I try to take advantage of that, and days like these are a perfect time to celebrate.
Scheffel hosted local authors for book signings as well. The majority of the bookstore is filled with some Appalachian-based books. Coming up at 6, a point of pride or an offensive tribute. We take a look at the controversy surrounding our state song ahead of the Derby.
Plus, we are tracking more rain chances for the second half of the weekend. Your full First Alert forecast coming up next.